Hello everyone, this is Chase from Freak Shack Gaming. Wanted to do a video just kind of going through the Halo Infinite campaign overview and some of my thoughts on it. This is not a reaction video. I've already watched this like 10 or 15 times, so it's not my first time seeing it. I just wanted to go through and kind of give some of my thoughts. Since I do have quite a few, just kind of have like some open, uncut, honest dialogue about my thoughts about what we see so far with the campaign overview. Just gonna go through this video, and I'm gonna give just some of my thoughts on the campaign, what I think. So let's get started.
Since the beginning, Halo was about Master Chief and Cortana.
So first, I just want to say this scene looks incredible.
Humanity. But that is now a distant memory. Humanity is fighting for survival. The banished
and this
have
scene,
risen,
all the new stuff all the new stuff that they added from the Discover Hope trailer in 2019, it looks so good. I will say that I think some of the lighting actually looked better in the Discover Hope trailer. I think that the lighting was more natural in some of the scenes in that trailer compared to the campaign overview now. Although in some scenes the lighting is better, so it's kind of hit and miss. I think overall, obviously the textures and all the details look a lot better now, so it looks really good. I would like to see like some of that lighting fixed a little bit, since at times it did look a little better before.
In control of the mysterious Zeta Halo.
And I love the grapple shots actually hanging from Chief now.
We need Spartan 117, Master Chief.
We have a new mission, soldier.
What is it? What's down there?
A weapon.
A weapon? How many guns do you need?
Love that they're bringing humor back into Halo. I mean, there was always a lot of humor in the game, a lot of one-liners, and just really good moments in the original trilogy. Not as much in 4 and 5, although they still did have their moments. So it's really nice to see like that humor being brought back in. See, and like shots like this, I mean, it just looks amazing. Just the detail in the rocks and stuff looks really good. I have noticed from like playing the flights, the multiplayer previews, and like the weapons tests and all that, and just all these trailers, the saturation seems really low in this game. It's very gray. And I don't know if that was on purpose or what. Because this scene, for example, it just seems really washed out, if I'm being honest. The detail looks good, but the colors are just really washed out. It's very gray. Don't know if that's just the lighting system or if they wanted it to look this way, because I know that Zeta Halo is very based off the Pacific Northwest environment in the United States. And I lived up in Washington State for most of my life. I don't live there anymore. But, I mean, in Washington, it is very gray when it's cloudy and stuff. Everything kind of has this look. So if they're going for that sense of realism, they did a really good job. But if it wasn't intentional, it just does seem a little washed out. I would have liked to see a little more vibrancy in the colors here. I mean, maybe that's just the photographer and videographer in me that I'm looking at stuff and oh, I'd like to see this and this different, but it still looks great. I mean, I'm not saying that this game doesn't look great. I think they did an amazing job updating the graphics from what we saw last year. And, I just want to be honest about my feedback. So the colors do seem a little muted. And then I've always had an issue with how the trees look. I don't know what it is about them, but they look kind of odd, in my opinion. Not like a big deal, of course. I'm not going to hate on the game because the trees look weird. Just wanted to kind of point that out. Everything else looks good. I mean, look at this banished stronghold. That looks amazing. It's very Lord of the Rings almost, like Isengard, something that Isengard would build, and I love that. I absolutely love that. just having that classic music back. Okay, in this scene right here. First, beautiful. Love the sunset and sunrise tones that they kind of show throughout the trailer. It looks stunning. A few things I wanted to kind of talk about here. So the pillars that they have over here on the left side, they look a lot better than last year. You know, last year they just looked one color plastic, and now, you know, they've got a shine, they've got some weathering to them, like even some cracks, it almost looks like, in places. Some of them still have dirt. You know, it looks really good. The skybox looks beautiful, and that lighting. But over here on the right side, that is a guardian, right? Like, looks like the wings of a guardian from Halo 5. And if that's the case, it really makes me wonder how that was brought down. You know, was it the Infinity? Like, was there... Because, I mean, obviously from the overview, we know that, like, they're saying, like, it's the remnants of the UNSC. Like, we lost, basically. So, I'm just wondering what exactly took place. You know, because you have a Guardian here, if that is what it is, and it looks like it. A Guardian that's crashed. And there's something else over here. It almost looks like a UNSC ship. Don't know if it is, though. I mean, could the Infinity have been brought down? I'm assuming, if the campaign is starting in such a dire state, you know, that Chief is kind of floating in space and the pilot's been stranded up there, and we don't know what happened to Cortana. Like, something big happened, and I just don't think the Infinity would still be around if the campaign, like the story, is kind of proposing that it's this dire of a circumstance. I don't think the Infinity has survived. So I don't know if... It doesn't really look like the Infinity to me, but I'm just saying it could be, or maybe some other UNSC ships, but that definitely looks like a Guardian. So, I mean, there had to have been, you know, just a massive battle that happened before the start of the campaign. So it's just very interesting. I love, like, those little details. It kind of really does make you wonder, and I hope it's somewhere that you can explore in-game. I know they said that it's very open, depending on where you're at, and, you know, you can climb the mountains and stuff, but can you actually go to, like, the Guardian over here, if that's what it is? Because I would like to go check that out and kind of see what happened over there. But anyway, this is just a beautiful scene. This looks really good. Love seeing wildlife. Love seeing, like, the Halo 3 style Forerunner architecture, and just what the Banished have done here. You know, with all the reds and the wiring, you know, like they're taking power from the installation itself. It's just really cool. These interior scenes look really good.
In the biggest campaign to date, Halo Infinite invites players to become Master Chief and discover true Spartan freedom in the most wide-open and adventurous...
And this looks like where last year's demo started. You know, you've got the elevator and the ships that you saw behind, and the pillars and stuff. So it looks like that's where the demo started last year. Definitely can see that they've changed quite a few of the graphics and stuff around here. Oh, and you can see the AA gun too up there that they stormed last year in the demo. Here, like at night, it looks like a lot of the details are kind of lost, you know, in, compared to maybe a daylight scene here. But just look at all the stuff that you get to do. I mean, I can't wait to play this game.
filled Halo experience yet.
Oh, and this right here, once again, like a sunrise or sunset. Looks kind of like a sunrise to me. Beautiful. The lighting is just amazing. You've got like some mist. It just looks absolutely stunning, and you can see like the grass and stuff. So like scenes like this are just beautiful. It really shows that they went back to, you know, that classic art style. Really like how this looks.
But Chief won't be alone.
Warthog sounds weird.
His first
but...
mission is to retrieve a new AI, codenamed...
Love the beam towers.
The Weapon.
It's been 6 months. Where have you been?
And I have to say, I know some people already they don't seem to like the weapon. Um, I like the weapon so far. I love the humor and the innocence and how naive she is. I think it's very different from Cortana. I mean, I don't know if people just wanted like another Cortana, but it would make sense that you have another AI with a completely different personality to kind of distinguish her from Cortana, and I really like it.
Following the events of Halo 5, Master Chief is searching for the answer to a troubling question.
Love how
What
Cortana
happened to
looks here.
Cortana? I was created to lock down Cortana, but I don't know why. What did she do that was so wrong?
And a lot of people keep talking about that part. What did Cortana do that was so wrong? And they seem to think that the weapon um, doesn't understand why it was wrong, and that's not what I'm getting from it. Every time I've watched it, I really think she genuinely was not told what happened. Almost like, like she doesn't know all the details about why she was even there to lock down Cortana. So I don't think it's her not understanding what she did wrong. I don't think she has any idea what happened. So I think it's more that innocence thing. A lot of people seem to be worried, like, oh, she doesn't know what was wrong about it. She's like the other AIs at the end of Halo 5. And I don't think that that's the case. I think she just really does not know. A few things I want to mention here. We've got the beam tower up there on the hill. You've got two ships here. Um, I'm assuming they're banished ships, since they don't look like UNSC ships. But they could be another faction too, I suppose. But I'm assuming they're banished. So down, like in the middle of the screen, you can see a Forerunner structure right ahead, and it really looks like something from Halo 3. I'm thinking like the Ark, when you're going to the cartographer on the level of the Ark. The big citadel structure that you've got. Like it looks exactly like that. So I really love they're bringing back that style. And it's kind of a mixture, like you've got that style, and then this big structure you've got here. It's almost like Halo 4, but a little more, I guess, based in the original trilogy, the style of the Forerunners. But I really like that mixture here, which is really cool. And I love the baby trees you have right here inside the camp. Just a little detail, but I love the little baby trees. And I think it's cool that you can call in vehicles like this and the pilot drops it off. It's really cool.
Order received. Stand by.
And I'm assuming this is something you have to unlock, like, fight and get the bases back from the banished or whatever.
The answer is somewhere on Zeta Halo.
The scale
A damaged world
of
full
this
of
canyon
wonder,
here, huge.
mystery, and danger.
This scene, every time I watch it, this area right here, because it's different from the other ones that they keep showing. Like you can tell this is maybe a different part in that same area, but different from the other areas they keep showing. This just looks beautiful, and the scale is just massive. It just looks like so much fun. I mean, obviously, flying in a Wasp, it looks cool. On foot, it's probably going to look even cooler, even better. I can't wait to explore it. I bet there's so many Easter eggs and hidden secrets and stuff, and obviously they're going to have the collectibles and skulls and stuff. I can't wait to play it. I think when it comes out, I'm going to try to just play it straight through so I don't get any spoilers, when it's released. I've already pre-ordered it. When it comes out, I think I'm just going to try to play it, play all the missions, get through it as fast as I can so I'm not spoiled, and then kind of go back through and just start looking for things and, messing around, trying things at different times of day. I can't wait to play this game. It looks so good. Love the detail in this shot. It's really cluttered, which I've never been a fan of when they keep showing Halo Infinite how cluttered stuff looks. It just makes it look messy. It makes the other Halos look a lot better in that regard. But I also know it's on purpose. Like, it's kind of showing the brutes, and the way that they're setting up their camps. So I'm not saying that they should change it. It really does fit, and the details are really good. I've just always thought it looks kind of messy, which is basically the point.
Banished are hunting Master Chief and the remnants of the UNSC.
Victory is already ours. We will meet on the battlefield.
I do wonder, with the brute. I do know his name, but it's not coming to me at the moment. I know it starts with an E. Um, I hope that he's not just saved for the very end of the game, and like you just keep running into his holograms. I hope that maybe you have encounters with him or something, and I think that'll make it more interesting and intense.
Banished army is spread across the
Another
surface,
beautiful scene. I love the Marines fighting
fearsome
down there.
strongholds and outposts with no one to stop them. Until now.
Nice to see Brutes berserking again. Maybe not as cool as it looked in Halo 2, but really nice to see that again. And in the shot, the hunters look great. Looks like they have some more weak spots than just the back. But the interior shots just look really good. They're all really dark compared to other Halos, I feel, so far. I don't know if that's going to be all the interiors, but they do seem very dark. But really detailed. Love how it looks.
From the beginning
Love that you
of
can
the
shoot
Halo
armor
saga,
off.
Master Chief has been a hero, ready to fight and win against impossible odds.
Chief, is that you?
You're safe now.
I will say, like, when you see the explosions, I feel like they're a little underwhelming compared to, like, Halo 2 Anniversary, which I think has the best explosions in Halo. They're not bad, and I wonder if it's just because of how big the maps are. They're trying to save resources and all that, which I completely understand if that's the case, but they just don't look quite as good as Halo 2 Anniversary. But everything else in the scene's really cool. I like that the Marines aren't wearing armor, because they were captured. And of course, we all know what happens next here. Where Chief just drives off a cliff.
Incoming.
Which I think is really funny. I mean, I laughed really hard the first time I saw that. And I think it's realistic as a player of what we're going to do. I mean, obviously, you rescue Marines, I'm going to drive right off a cliff too. I've already said to my brother, Justin, who's also part of this channel, that if it's possible, I know they said you can fall off the ring. I would like to drive Marines off the ring. Don't ask me why, I just think it'd be funny to just drive them off the side of the Halo. So I'm looking forward to that. So obviously, I mean, that's something that players would do, and I love that they included that.
What if it's a friend?
It isn't.
And here, I love that they're doing kind of like mini boss battles. Obviously, boss battles is not something Halo has done very well in the past. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I mean, the original Halo trilogy, Halo Reach, like those games, absolutely incredible. And they don't need boss battles to be good. I mean, they're amazing. I mean, Halo 2, you fought Tartarus at the end, which was a pretty good boss battle. Halo 3, yeah, you fought Guilty Spark, kind of. I don't know if that's really a boss battle. And then, Halo 4, you had the Didact, but it was more of a quick time event, which was really lame compared to what it could have been. So, I mean, there haven't really been a lot of boss battles in Halo. So it's really cool seeing all these mini bosses and stuff, which I felt like in the original trilogy is kind of what the Hunters were supposed to be like. So I kind of like that they're incorporating all of this in the game. I think it's going to make it a lot more interesting and fun to play. Especially on repeat plays, I think.
Players now have more freedom than ever before to
And the
take down
map
the
here, map looks really good compared to last year. I kind of liked the way it looked last year, just being the one color. I think it fit more as like an AI piece or something. I'm realizing now my webcam is really dark, which it wasn't when I started filming. There we go. I really liked how it looked last year, but I love all the new details and the work they put into it. this time around. It looks really awesome. At the top of the map, you can see some interesting Forerunner structures. I'm not sure what that is, but it looks really cool, and I'd love to explore there. There's all kinds of cool stuff. It looks like almost broken bridges in a few spots. There's probably light bridges, actually, now that the Halo's destroyed or something. I don't know. And you can see like all the collectibles you get, and fast travel offline. So obviously these are going to be pretty big levels if you need fast travel, because otherwise what would be the point of adding fast travel if there wasn't a benefit to using it? So I love just if it's going to be that massive that you actually need fast travel, like that's amazing. That's really amazing.
Any way they choose.
Banished facility up ahead, Chief. Some kind of salvage operation. What do we do?
It's such a little thing, but I love that the clouds are dynamic and actually moving and like covering the ring in the distance and stuff. Little things, but it helps really ground this game in reality. And can we also just say how good this looks, how good the chopper looks. This right here actually looks amazing. And I'm sure, like they said, that's only one of the many ways that you can probably attack these outposts. Love that the brute has his finger. And upgrades, I'm really looking forward to that. That's really cool. I love that it shows up on screen as you're actually updating it. The elites are looking a lot better than last year. Last year's demo, they just looked so one color, almost like a matte finish to them. They look so much better this time, especially the screenshots from the latest blog post. The elites look amazing. I do want to say, I think they had their mod tools on and stuff, which I know they usually do for demos because you don't want to die while you're doing the marketing material. But the health was completely gone and the shield was completely gone. So yeah, I think that they cheated a little bit there, but it's all good.
You see that? Could be useful, if you like that kind of thing.
Oh, I like it.
Agreed. Would have liked to see phantom pieces falling from that, but probably a resource thing. Doing the Battlefield thing, way better than Battlefield. A few people have done that on YouTube already, side by side, versus Battlefield. Halo versus Battlefield, doing those trick shots. Halo looks a lot better, just graphically, in my opinion, than the new Battlefield game. And I know it's not quite fair to compare campaign versus multiplayer, but it does look better, which is really impressive and good considering the state it was in last year. And I love here you can see down below the ring. I would like to drive Marines off it, like I said.
Take on returning favorites.
Craig, who's looking so much better.
Threats, like the agile skimmers. A sadistic Spartan killer named Jaga Erdamni.
Say good.
Armor looks so cool.
Look out, Chief. He looks
Angry.
And something even more threatening.
The Forerunner's lies are at an end. I am the harbinger of the truth.
The harbinger. Is she a prelate? You know, a Sanshayum? Maybe? Or something new entirely? I don't know. That'll be interesting to find out.
You are not the future.
Exploring this vast and fractured
And it's an
world.
interesting plot idea, if there's any truth behind it, like if humanity actually isn't the future, the mantle of responsibility and all that. would be really interesting if the Forerunners did lie, and that isn't, the precursors and all that, like, that isn't how it was supposed to go. I think it would be an interesting part of the story and the plot, and I think it would help kind of tie it in to Halo 4 and 5 really well, with the new elements they brought in, and as well as just being very interesting.
We'll put Spartan
I'm very intrigued.
117 to the ultimate test. But where there is courage, there is hope. Welcome to the new era of Halo.
See, there's the Guardian again. See if I can go back a little bit. We can get... I mean, come on, that is a Guardian, right? I mean, what else would it be, I guess? Just makes you curious.
Is everyone trying to kill you?
It kind of seems like it.
Just love the humor they put back in it. The music, the soundtrack is obviously amazing. And then this ending part, obviously pre-rendered, but that doesn't mean
Day one with Game Pass.
that doesn't mean that that's not how he's going to look in game necessarily. Obviously, it's pre-rendered because of like the glitch effects and stuff, but that doesn't mean that it's far off from the in-game graphics. So I'm just really excited to see. I'll kind of reiterate some stuff that I've mentioned in comments I've made on YouTube. Even last year with the original demo, obviously last year the graphics weren't great. This year they're greatly improved. It looks really good. There's still a few things that I think look a little weird, but really good. But I'll just kind of restate what I thought last year even, was everyone was hating on the graphics so much. And they weren't as focused on the story, I felt. Like you just had this huge backlash on, it looks terrible, the graphics aren't good, it's going to be a bad game. Mostly like people who don't really play Halo, but like they were basically equating graphics to whether or not a game is actually good. And in my opinion, that's not what makes a game good. It's part of what makes a game good, because obviously good graphics, it's beautiful, visually pleasing, you want to explore the world more. But the story, the gameplay elements and all that stuff is more important to me. And that's one reason I've always liked Halo so much, is like the original trilogy, especially Halo 2 and 3. Incredible story, like amazing storytelling, and all the symbolism and stuff is really good. And then Halo Reach also, I think, it's just a really good story. I also think Halo 4 had a great story. Halo 4 didn't do so well for me in the whole gameplay and art style departments. A lot more to be desired there, and some changes I'm not really a fan of. But I think when you just look at the core story of Halo 4, I think it was a great story. I love the emotions, Chief and Cortana and all that. I think that was a good story. Halo 5, complete opposite for me. I think Halo 5 had really good gameplay, other than like all the clamber and stuff. I actually liked the aiming down the sights and all that, because it kind of was the same as other shooters. I liked the way that Halo 5 played a lot more than the previous Halos. And I grew up playing Halo. So that is my background. But I loved how Halo 5 plays. Obviously, Halo 5 had a terrible story, in my opinion. Art style still wasn't great. So that game, for me, is probably the worst Halo game. I mean, I shouldn't say probably. It is, in my opinion, the worst Halo game that's been released, Halo 5. But I like the gameplay of it. Just did not like the story. And I like the graphics. The graphics on Halo 4 and 5 are really good. Really impressive. So with Halo Infinite, the graphics aren't as impressive to me. But even last year, I wasn't as bothered by it. Obviously, I hoped they were going to fix stuff. But for me, it's all about the story and the gameplay. From what I've seen of the gameplay so far, I'm loving it. It's semi-open world, so being able to explore and kind of go back to the roots of like Halo CE and some levels of like Halo 3. I'm so excited about that aspect. I love that you can approach things from different directions, like they're saying, and how encounters might even change based on time of day, the day-night cycle. That is also intriguing to me, and so from a gameplay perspective, I'm so excited to give this a try. And I like open world games. I've played Skyrim. I actually also play Cyberpunk. I know that isn't quite an open world and it has issues, but on PC, it is pretty fun. Not a great game, but it's a good game. So I do play open world games, and I love the freedom to explore and all that. I love that they're bringing that to Halo. So I think the gameplay is going to be amazing. So already won me over on that. And then the story is intriguing to me. We don't know what happened. We don't know how the UNSC lost. We don't know what happened to Cortana. So the story, I think, is intriguing, bringing the Banished in. I think it's going to be a good game. Like, graphics aside, and the graphics do look good now. I think it's going to be a great game just for the story and gameplay aspects alone. The story does worry me a little bit, in that I was hoping they didn't just like erase Halo 4 and 5 from existence, especially Halo 5, because I don't really agree with that. I don't think that you should ever try to hide something or like just say, oh, like that never happened, it's not canon. I really hate when that stuff happens, in these universes and these games, movies, books, when you kind of rewrite what happened. I don't like that at all. So I'm glad that it seems like Halo 5 is intact, at least, because they keep mentioning, like at the end of Halo 5 and like what happened to Cortana. So obviously Cortana still did all that stuff. It's still canon, which is great news. But I am a little, I guess I wouldn't say concerned. I'm curious at how this all happened with the way it started, and I hope they don't brush some things aside. Might be a little controversial to say, but I would like to see the Prometheans in Halo Infinite. Not because I like the Prometheans. I do not like the Prometheans. Trust me. I do not like them. But from a story standpoint, I guess it wouldn't make sense for them to disappear unless they're going to explain why they've disappeared based on whatever happened before Halo Infinite starts. Those 6 months that Chief's trying to figure out what happened. Then it would be okay if they kind of explained it, but I hope they don't just pretend that the Prometheans never happened. Or maybe if they could have a few Prometheans show up, maybe not often, because I hate them, but for the story aspect, I think it'd be a stronger story if we have some of those Prometheans and, maybe even evidence that the Warden's around and stuff, because it just really helps kind of tie the story in. So that's kind of what I hope for. And I'm going to do another video where I talk about all my hopes for Halo Infinite and things I'd like to see. But just wanted to kind of state that everyone's focused so much on the graphics, and graphics are a big part of it. It looks great now. But for me, the story and gameplay is more important. And they already won me over last year, showing that it was open world and, the story and stuff. They already won me over on that. So I can't wait to play it. Like I said, I've already pre-ordered it. Even if like they showed this and the graphics weren't great, I was still going to buy it because the story and gameplay is more important to me. Having fun is more important to me. And this game looks like a lot of fun. It looks like the game that you're just going to start playing over and over again. I mean, we'll have to see how the story actually plays out. But with it being semi-open world and being able to approach stuff from different areas and co-op coming for the first season update early next year, just the different things you're going to be able to try playing it again and again and again. I can't wait. December 8th cannot come fast enough. So I think it's going to be a great game. So I've just wanted to kind of give some of my thoughts on the Halo Infinite campaign overview, since we don't really upload a lot of videos on this channel, but we do play a lot of games. That's something we're going to try to be better at going forward, actually filming playthroughs. Actually, we film a lot of our playthroughs, we just never upload them or stream them or anything. I have a ton of hours of videos just sitting on my external hard drives that have not been edited or anything. So hopefully you'll see a little more from us in the games that we play and things that we're going to be doing. So you probably look at this channel and you're like, wow, they only upload like 2 to 3 times a year, if that. And we play games a lot more than that. We record a lot more than that. We just never actually publish it to the channel, and we're looking to change that. So expect more videos in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Really odd for me to do these types of videos. You can always check out my main channel, Chase Sharaba, here on YouTube. Used to doing more hiking videos and vlogs and actually going out with my camera and doing stuff. So doing some of these like almost commentary type videos is a little different for me, but I'm really glad that I get the opportunity to try it and have a channel where I can actually publish it too. So just wanted to give my thoughts on Halo Infinite. I think it's going to be great. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out our other videos, even if they're not really that great. We're going to have new stuff coming that's a lot better. So feel free to subscribe, like this video. If you like what I had to say, if you like what I had to say or you disagree with me, let me know in the comments. I don't want to create like a hostile comment section, you know, but I do love discussion. So I'm not going to attack anyone. I'm not going to, you know, if you differ in my opinion. But if you want to have a discussion about stuff, you know, very politely, leave a comment and let's chat. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Chase from Freak Shack.